Greetings everyone, Fromark here with the finale of Ristar with Round 5, Planet 5, Planet Freon. This is the ice level of the game, and if you've watched my channel long enough, you know that I love ice levels and snow levels and winter time in general, and just a good time. This opening cutscene here kind of reminds me of Ice Cap Zone when Sonic's got the snowboard. But yeah, this is a pretty neat level. It's got really good music that sets the tone. And I wanted to point out something. In the last couple of parts, I called those enemies Orbots, but they're actually called Orblets. Yeah, those things. Those orange things. I accidentally called them Orbots because I thought I heard somebody else call them Orbots in a different Let's Play, and my bad for not doing the proper research ahead of time, folks. And it also turns out I kind of was right about the flagpoles in Mario games. Depending on how high or low you end the level on the flagpole sometimes in the Mario games, not sure which games, but some of them that does help with the points. Yeah, made it up here for not one, but 2 extra lives! Good stuff. And I'll definitely need to replenish my health. Oh man, you gotta really look out for this section here, because you got that Freonian creature up to some tricks. And there he is, once again, the Freonian creature. I should probably have looked up the name, but anyways, it all comes down to this really neat snowball fight. Nothing like a good snowball fight, though I've never been good at snowball fights because I've never really been good at throwing. Oh yeah, Ristar's idle animation is making little snowman. Which I don't know why he went into that instead of making a snowball. Ooh, that was close. But it results in some good stuff. I only had to hit him 3 times. Go ahead and find the, yeah, there we go. See what kind of bonus I get. Ooh, nice 4,000 points. And move on to Splash Snow, which this is the best song in the entire game. Hands down. It gets stuck in my head on a fairly regular basis. It's just nice and funky. And just a lot going on with the percussion here. A lot going on overall in this song. But it all seems to work pretty well with the level here. But yeah, it really is a shame that Ristar never got any other games made. Well, there is the Game Gear version, though, but there really isn't anything special about it other than one level's different. Planet Scorch is replaced with a Planet Terra. But other than that, there's not really anything of note between the two. Now, it is interesting to note that there are several differences between the North American and Japanese versions of Ristar, as the boss in this planet's altered just a little bit for the US version. Ristar's facial expressions are also altered between the US and Japanese releases, as in the US version he's got a more serious look on his face, but over in Japan he's smiling, he's all happy and cheerful. Also, the opening cinematic shows that we need to rescue Ristar's dad, which is not mentioned in the Japanese release. Instead, Ristar's mother receives a distress call and sends it to her son, Ristar. Just a couple little differences here and there that were changed for localization for one odd reason or another. But yeah, I love a good snow and ice level. This kind of reminds me a little bit, just a little bit of the ice levels in Donkey Kong Country 2. But yes, I know, I haven't recorded that one yet for the channel at the time of recording this, but eventually I'd like to get around to it. I've got a long list of games to get through, and I'm recording one game at a time. There's only so much I can do right now, you know? I'll get there when I get there. Speaking of getting there, there's this section here that you gotta get through. I don't like this section because you gotta time your jumps carefully, and it kinda reminds me of a section in Bandland and Rayman. In Allegro Presto, there's a section with the trumpets that blow you back and forth, and you gotta jump from platform to platform. That's what that kinda reminds me of. But anyways, here we got some puns, and going into the boss arena, as the boss's name is Ita More. The level's named Ita More Lunch. Kind of adding to that pun, though, is the fact that you got the Freonian creature here once again. The goal here in this battle is to throw the bowls of hot soup at the Eatamore here. But you gotta wait till his mouth is open at just the right time for the hit to land. And it can get kind of tricky. You also gotta make sure you get out of the way when it jumps. You also gotta look out for his freeze ability, as well as the things that he slings at you, as well as this ability he has to do the big suck and suck you in if you're not careful and try to eat you. Luckily, though, I only have to take care of this a couple more times and it'll all be a-okay. And I still feel bad about letting that Orblet mispronouncing thing go on. I should have done more research. I'm sure I'll pay for it in the comments section on parts 1 and 2. Yes, once again, look out for them jumps. Oh, it's gonna jump again. Jump up, and get down. Jump around. And yeah, it's just super tricky sometimes to do this. But hey, I was able to get some food in his system. And hey, that looks like it's gonna take care of Vita more. Ugh. It's kinda disturbing. But alright. Let's get on with it. Yeah, wave me out of here. I'm out of this place. Get me out of this frozen hellhole. I'm just kidding. Planet Freon's not that bad. But Freon is clear, folks. Not too many points out of this one. But I did hear the jingle, got an extra life out of it. And that's always excellent, as the screen says. Yeah, might as well keep things moving, shall we? Let's go on to Planet 6, or Round 6. Let's see what's going on over in this place. And it's Planet Automaton, which, when I was younger, I didn't realize there was no I at the end of that, and I thought it was Planet Automation. And this... it's really kind of strange, honestly. 6-1 here, one of the harder levels in the entire game. 6-2, Cakewalk. It's kind of interesting, the inconsistency and difficulty, but yeah, this is definitely a tough level to get through. You gotta watch for all kinds of crap. Ooh, for example, got all kinds of enemies. You got enemies to the left, to the right, to the up, to the down, to the diagonal sometimes. You got these really cool shoe power-ups that only make an appearance in this one level. And I assume they're supposed to be some kind of anti-gravity thing, but they pretty much just function as you being underwater without the water. I guess it's kind of neat. But yeah, I wasn't really sure what to make of this place the first time I made it here. I know I didn't have much luck getting through, and it was another one of those levels that took quite a bit of practice to get through. And this is a really hard section if you're not careful. Just gotta do a lot of precise movements and jumping and swinging your arms and really using Ristar's ability to the best of your ability. Gladly replenish my health even though I just lost some of it. And these things are kind of neat, but be careful that you don't miss one of them on the way down. Alright. See, this mini boss that's coming up, not much of a fan of this. There are several phases to it, as the orblets change colors. They change colors each time you hit them. I believe they change 4 or 5 times. But you just gotta watch out for the, they follow patterns. They follow patterns for how they attack. And you gotta pay close attention. See, like, now, yeah, there we go. It'll change color a couple more times and throw the best of what it's got at me. Say 2 more hits. 2 more hits ought to take care of it here. Yeah, 1 more ought to do it, folks. Let's go ahead and deliver that bonk, 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 bonk. There we go. 1 last bonk. Even though I said that before the last bonk. But anyway, that's gonna do it for the 6-1 boss. That boss is kind of difficult. It's quite difficult on the first try. Luckily, that was not my first try. Otherwise, that would have been pretty impressive. But anyways, this is, like I said, going from a difficult level to a pretty easy level. This is Brain Maze, which doesn't really require much brain. It doesn't really require a whole lot of mental gymnastics to get through here. Although I do think it should be noted, and I've heard this mentioned in another playthrough, I get Rocket Knight Adventures vibes from this level, which is another game I've played over on this channel that you should check out. But anyways, this is Ristar. You should also check this out. But yeah, the goals are pretty simple, just a little platforming puzzle here and there, occasional enemies, going from one layer of the background to the other. Come back out on the other side. I like the concept of teleportation. I like the idea of being able to just take a portal or something to go from one place to another. It's amazing to me that we haven't perfected that or even tried to really do much with that as a society. It would be so cool. It would save so much time and effort if we could just, like, go walk into a beam of light and go from one place to, like, 1,000 miles away. Okay, maybe in the future that'll happen. I mean, at least it happens in Ristar, though. Now, this part can be kind of sketchy, kind of sus. This part can be a little sus. You gotta look out for the sus part here. As you see, I got some of the platforms kind of backed up here. Everything's all screwed up. Get it all taken care of. And yeah, there we go. Now this part, it's really kind of just a guessing game, but I happen to make the right guess. There are 4 strips of wallpaper you can tear down there. The other 3 have enemies in them, I believe. And then you got this part with all the star handles. Sure, I was suggesting I go up, but I don't have to because this room down here is pretty much takes you to the same spot. So it's kind of pointless. You gotta look out for these things. They kind of look like turtle, squid-looking things that fire missiles. I always listen for that audio cue before they fire their missiles. Just climb up here. But yeah, you always hear that before they fire the missile, and then it gives you a chance to kind of react. Climb up here, see what's going on in here. And yeah, I like this part. You just swing around on the star handle and avoid all the orblets. Once again, put the crystal in the slot and move to the next section. Aw, man, I was hoping that'd be an extra life. Sometimes it's randomized. Sometimes you get some real good goodies in this game. Moving through the background. Moving through the background. Let's see here. Climb up the ladder. Kind of threw me at first because I didn't realize there were ladders on both layers there. Say I'm getting pretty close to the tail end of this level. I think I got one or two more rooms left to navigate. Actually, this is it. This is the last room. Just dodge some more missiles. Look out for whatever these are. Grab the star handle. This is some good stuff as I got 4,000 bonus points. Alright. Uranum power. Uranum. Anyways, he's a bad guy and you gotta look out for him. I like this little effect here with all the TVs. It gives you a chance to react to... Even though I didn't react very well to him throwing that bolt. But this is actually pretty simple stuff. You just keep attacking him, and then you wait for Inonis, and he's the blue dude in the background. You gotta wait for him to drop the claw on the uranum here. But yeah, just keep attacking him, and then eventually Inonis will drop the claw. It's a shame I don't have any white claw on hand. Claw. When I hear claw, I think white claw. And claw's the law around here. But anyways, I think just gotta let him get hit a couple more. No, actually, nope. Now all I gotta do is just bonk him a couple more times, and that's, yeah, that'll do it. That will do it for Planet Automaton. And this one ends a little bit differently, as you see Inonis and Uranum blasting off into space. Ristar's just like, no problem. Latches onto the star handle, and that will do it for Planet 6. This time around, you see we're chasing that rocket ship. See now if I can do something about it this time. It's always nice to get an extra life in these end of planet sections. Always nice to leave a stage with plenty of points racked up. Even if sometimes score don't matter in games, at least every 30,000 points you get an extra life, so it kinda matters. And interestingly enough, even though this is supposed to be called Planet Greedy, it does not begin with a title card. To my understanding, it was supposed to have a title card, but the limitations of the Genesis hardware were messing up the color palettes or something. I don't know how true that is, because I haven't heard I haven't heard much about that, but to my understanding, that's why. That's why there's no Round 7 Planet Grady. But there doesn't really need to be, it's just it's pretty much just a one-stage boss smash-up, beat-em-up session. Because now I gotta deal with Inonis. Inonis! I like that name. It seems he's just like, bring it on. Inonis. Oh, I'll bring it on, alright. What are you gonna do about it? Now, the way I'm doing this is kind of a mix of the easy way and the hard way. Is that Boomerang can come out and shoot the machine in the eye there, which will render his machine useless. Or I could just continue to smash it up and headbutt it a bunch. And either way, that's gonna do it for Inonis. And yeah, so it's all led to this, folks. It's all come down to this. I know it's been a pretty quick playthrough to get through, but this is the final boss. This is the final arena. This is Kaiser Greedy, the Kaiser. This is the hardest boss that I've ever battled in any 2D platformer, or really just about any game. 'Cause there's just so much going on here. Gotta avoid the orblets that come down from him whenever you hit him. You gotta hit him 5 times before he goes into the pinch mode. So technically you gotta hit him 10 total times, but after the first 5, stuff starts to really pick up. I like the way they kind of assume that you're already gonna be getting to the pinch by the time the music picks up in the stage. There's but yeah, then you got that. You gotta look out for that black hole there. There's so much to look out for during the pinch. The greedy pinch. You gotta look out for the greedy pinch. It'll get you. But you got those black holes of doom, which if you get sucked into them, it's an insta-kill. You gotta look out for those. There's no real way to tell how many times he will do that, but it varies. And you just gotta look out for him. But that's gonna do it, folks. Delivered the final bonk. Greedy is no more. No more greedy pinch. And the day is saved. The Valdi system has been saved. I guess Ristar's father will also be saved, which is good stuff. But hey, wait a minute. You see Inonis, Urinum, and Greedy getting away? Interestingly enough, while they do get away, it does not show that in the North American version. In the Japanese release, it leaves a sequel, like, kind of up in the air, you know? Like, they survive, but we never got a sequel, so, well, oh well. But yeah, anyway, folks, that's Ristar. It was, like I said, it was kind of a quick adventure to get through, honestly. I mean, once you know what you're doing, you can get through this game in, I'd say, about an hour. Maybe a little bit more than an hour. But it's good stuff. Of course, this is another one of those games. Hey, I recognize that name, Yuji Uekawa. He was partly in charge of redesigning the Sonic characters for the Adventure era. I like this credits theme. And all these little Ristars moving across, synced up to the beat of the music. Hey! Such wonderful music. Such beautiful visuals, such challenging and interesting gameplay, a very unique game of its time. A game I've got to give a solid 10 out of 10 to. It's definitely high up on my list. It may not be... I mean, it may not end up in any of my top 10 favorite games of all time lists. But then again, it may. It could. Oh yeah, I don't know if I mentioned, Itamor was originally a cat in the Japanese version of Ristar. They changed it for localization, because some kind of reference over in Japan with cats and soup that becomes lost upon American audiences, apparently. I mean, it's already lost upon me. I forget what the reference is. And then it goes into phase 2 of the credits, where we just see the Valdi system spinning around in space while the rest of the credits peacefully play us out. Always gotta give them credits where credits are due. But yeah, whenever I already mentioned it a little bit in part 1. Whenever I first played Ristar, I really wasn't that high on it. I really couldn't get into it until I kept coming back for more, and then eventually it just kind of became one of those games that's I kind of view in a similar vein to Rayman. A very bright, cartoony, colorful, challenging platformer with plenty to offer. And plenty of character. We may never get another sequel to or anything Ristar related again, but at least he lives on in re-releases, as I'm sure there are plenty of times that he gets that this game gets re-released for modern hardware and software and... But yeah, not bad for a total final score. Not quite 200,000 points. PJ Ristar? What's the PJ stand for? But anyways, oh cool. He's reunited with his father. Congratulations! Well, thanks. But yeah, that's pretty cool. The day is saved. He's reunited with his dad. And like I said earlier in the game, the more items you get, the more passwords you get. I didn't get enough items or win enough of the bonus stages to get any passwords. I don't give a crap. This is Fromark of Fromark Plays, and I will see you in whatever it is I decide to record next. Thanks for tuning into this playthrough, folks.